Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. One of the sort of latest Star Wars things that's going to be released soon is Skeleton Crew. Now it's not really made for me, it's made for children, much, much younger children. But it is interesting that that's the sort of take that they're going with now, trying to... It's almost like Disney's admitted that they just can't capture old fans anymore, which, sure, fine, I agree with. But we've got a new look at Jude Law's character and a new kind of Jedi. So just thought it was interesting to take a look at because this is ultimately what will then be carried over further down the line if they capture new fans, and this sort of does really, really well. This is stuff which will then be transplanted into bigger movies further down the line. So it's just interesting. So this actually releases this year. It's definitely not for me, but it says here, Star Wars Skeleton Crew exclusive photos reveal Jaleel White as a space pirate. So they've got the villains. It looks alright, mostly practical. So creators John Watts and Christopher Ford explain why they are playing with a part of the galaxy that has a resurgence of piracy. So here are the pirates. This individual here... That was in... What was it? The Book of Boba Fett, I think? Pretty certain he was in the Book of Boba Fett. I will say this, look. Some of the practical effects is alright. Like, it's not... I mean, that looks a bit... Yeah, some of it looks a bit jank, to be fair. Like, this looks cheap on the guy's front here. Some of it looks alright. Some of it looks, yeah, pretty terrible. But again, it's not for me. It is for children. But hey, whatever. Says there be pirates. We've got the photos to prove it. Star Wars Skeleton Crew will tell the tale of 4 children who discover a secret and they then get into a series of adventures as they attempt to find a way back to their home planet. And it seems their journey will pit them against some fearsome foes, namely pirates. Entertainment Weekly has the exclusive first look at the space pirates below, as well as another exclusive image of Jude Law's Jod Narwood. All right. Their naming conventions of Star Wars has gone down the drain. And the show's 4 pint-sized heroes and also spoke to Skeleton's Crew creators John Watts and Christopher Ford about this potential hive of scum and villainy. So, like I said, we've got this image here. Some of it's real jank, some of it's alright. Again, I think for a kid's production, I think it's fine, to be honest. It's neither good nor bad, it's just fine. Those are pirates, confirms Ford, of the photo subjects above. And again, because we've seen this individual here, we've seen that guy before, and I'm pretty certain it was Book of Boba Fett. It says here, they're not just any space pirates. That is none other than Urkel himself, Jaleel White, looking vaguely cyborg-esque as Gunter. To the left of Gunter is a pesky character Star Wars fans may recognise, the unsavoury Vane, who gave Din Djarin and Grief Karga such a hard time on The Mandalorian. Oh, was that The Mandalorian? I could have sworn it was Book of Boba Fett. Nah, never mind. Who cares? It's so it's so sort of, you can just forget it now. Who cares? It's not really important. Rounding out the not-so-merry band of pirates to the right of Gunter is Brutus, which is voiced by Fred Tatasciore, and played by performance artist Stephen O. Young, Pax, and Chelt. Cool, whatever. So with Skeleton Crew taking place in the same time frame as shows like The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, after the fall of the second Death Star and before the rise of the First Order. Why do they keep going to that same time period? It's so fucking boring. That means that there is a lack of what one might call Imperial enforcement. Naturally, that allows nefarious forces to thrive. With the era we're in, we're kind of getting to play with that lawless thing, says Ford. The Empire is gone, and so we're playing with a part of the galaxy that has a resurgence of piracy. I do feel like this time period is really boring, though. So... yeah, basically the Empire's gone, and it's just... oh, yeah, just... so many random Jedis keep popping up. You're like, really? Really? It does make Luke Skywalker's... it does make that rather moot, I think, that whole thing. And also Yoda's hiding. Yoda has to hide on a damn distant, dirty swamp planet to, not let anyone discover his powers, but other Jedis can just be like, I'm just milling about. Like, oh, fuck off. Anyway, pirates played a role in Season 3 of The Mandalorian, as folks like Gorian, Shard and Vane created chaos on Navarro, and now it appears we will meet more unscrupulous characters of the same ilk. Quote, pirates are talked about so much in Star Wars, people would call Han Solo a pirate, and he'd be like, how dare you? And we've seen some awesome pirates in the animated shows, so this was something where both Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were really excited to do more pirate stuff. And again, I think the pirate stuff could be really, really good fun, actually, but it's a weird thing to begin focusing on so much. So it says this, exploring the edges of wild space is something that co-creator Watts is excited to do, not just due to his love of Star Wars, but also because of his love of a certain LucasArts video game series that dates all the way back to 1990. I'm also a big fan of Monkey Island. That's also classic Lucas, so somewhere between Star Wars pirates and Monkey Island pirates, I think we found our sweet spot. So here's our Jod Wood. Alright. And this, I mean, he's British and he's white. So clearly he's playing, I mean, I'm going to say clearly he's playing a villain, but I could be wrong. So finding the sweet spot was something Watts and Ford were looking to do for the series as a whole, as they created an entirely new world within the already pre-existing one of Star Wars. Right, that doesn't sound massively confidence-inspiring, but okay. A world with certain rules that can't be broken. What's great about working at Lucasfilm is that they'll let you know if you've gone outside of the boundaries. Dave Filoni is our goalkeeper. That doesn't bode well. Fucking Ahsoka was terrible. And Watts means that literally of the creative visionary overseeing the Star Wars streaming galaxy. He actually is a great hockey player, but he's also a figurative goalkeeper. He will come up with ideas of things that we like, and then he'll be like, actually, maybe it's this, or, oh, we already did something like that somewhere else. And you always end up with a bunch of other episodes of Star Wars to go watch and things to go read. And it's good. You feel like you can safely explore things creatively without making some huge canonical mistake. That sounds bloody exhausting. And he gets both sides of that because he did that mentoring under George Lucas, so he gets that thing of, I want to make a whole new kind of a Jedi, and then something being like, okay, hold on, a lot of people have thought about this, let's do this the right way, and it's so helpful. So apparently, Jude Law is a new kind of Jedi, which I don't think that bodes massively well. I think that's just going to be that grey Jedi bollocks that they keep bringing back. I don't know. I know some people care about that, but I don't. There you go. Can this save Star Wars? Definitely not. I was going to say, obviously not, but it is interesting. This releases this year. The trailer for this, some of it was good. Some of it was just awful. But it is fascinating how the sort of effort changes. And some of this stuff is still sort of old guard. And it'll be interesting when the things produced under Dave Filoni just wholesale start coming out, and whether they're garbage or not. I mean, Ahsoka is one of those things, obviously. But let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear it. So, cheers, guys. Are you interested in pirates? Let me know. Take care. Bye-bye now.